Today we're going to look at a couple of statistic examples. The first one here, we're given a sample and we want to find the mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation. Now I just used my calculator. Don't forget there's a statistics mode on it. It makes life easier. Make sure you learn how to use it. So I used the calculator to find mean and I got 12.5. The calculator will also tell the median and it will tell us the standard deviation. From there, let's look at the mode. We have 7, 10, and 14 all repeated, but 14 is repeated the most, so our mode is 14. Lastly, our range will be 21 minus 5, which is 16. Okay, time for the second example. And the first thing we must do is finish filling in the frequency distribution. Let's start with filling in midpoint. Now let's look at cumulative frequency. We have 19. 19 plus 23 is 42. Plus 68 is 110. Plus 35 is 145. And plus 5 gives us 150. Now we can look at relative cumulative frequency. Now each of these, we're just going to be dividing the cumulative frequency by the total of 150 and putting it in percent form. I keep one decimal place. This will give us 12.7%, 28%, 73.3%, 96.7%, and lastly 100%. And again, this was 19 over 150, 42 over 150, 110 over 150, 145 over 150, and 150 over 150. All right, now let's look at finding mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. Now, I'm just using the statistics function on the calculator to find mean and standard deviation. Remember, we're going to enter midpoint and frequency into our calculator. You will get a mean of 1078.67 and a standard deviation of 201.52. Now these are money, so I went 2 decimal places. It just makes sense. Now we can calculate the median. It is 1100. You'll notice if we go down the relative cumulative frequency table, the 50% would fall in the third row. Now lastly, the mode, our highest frequency is 68, so again we have 1100 for our mode. If you wish to round the mean to 3 significant digits and the standard deviation to 3 significant digits, I will accept this. Okay, here I've constructed a histogram for the second example. Now when constructing a histogram, things I'm going to look for are proper labels, proper scales, and depending on your data, you should always leave a space here unless your first class does start at 0. Once we've got our axes, scales, and labels set up, then we can fill in our bars. 1 bar for each of the classes, and you go up in height on the bar to the frequency.